A man accused of a horrible hate crime, and now his family members say they are caught in the middle. Today, supporters for that family used Martin Luther King Jr. Day to plead for their family's release. We're talking about Mohamed Soliman's wife and his 5 children, ages 5 to 18. Soliman is the man accused of carrying out a deadly Molotov cocktail attack on people who were supporting Israeli hostages on Boulder's Pearl Street Mall last summer. Right after his arrest, ICE agents took his family into custody.
My hope is that through my stories, the people present, those who read or watch this in the news, and the government at large will see the humanity of the children in custody, and that the members of this family will be seen and treated as individuals.
Today's news conference in Colorado Springs follows the release of this public letter from Soliman's oldest child, 18-year-old Habiba Soliman. Her emotional words were written from ICE custody in Texas, where the family is currently being held. Your reporter Alan Janae is with us tonight after speaking with her about the family's fight. And Alan, the White House posted a message on X 2 days after that June attack saying that the family had been arrested and that they could be deported.
Yes, that's correct, Michael. And that has not happened because the courts stepped in. Now, in the criminal case against the father, an FBI agent who investigated testified the family had no inkling that Mohamed Soliman was planning or thinking about the attack. But they are in the U.S. illegally, having overstayed their visas. An immigration judge ordered the family released on bond in September, awaiting further proceedings. The judge deemed the mother and 5 children are neither a flight risk nor a danger to the community. But ICE has filed an appeal to that and refuses to release them pending that appeal. They are the words of a teenager, written from the ICE facility where she and her 4 siblings and mother are held. We are innocent people, Habiba Soliman writes, including 5-year-old twins trapped in a nightmare we didn't create and punished for our father's actions. It is a cry for help from a young woman who only last year was honored by a Colorado Springs newspaper as one of the best and brightest of local high school students who hoped to go to Harvard Medical School. But that was before that terrible day in June. The day her father, Mohamed Soliman, was arrested for allegedly firebombing peaceful marchers in Boulder, leading to the death of Karen Diamond.
I really can't forget that out.
In a conversation from the Family Detention Center in Dilley, Texas, run by an ICE contractor, she talked about the attack.
Nobody has ever experienced what they experienced. Nobody has ever gone through what they went through. Violence is never justified. We don't agree with violence at all for any reason. And we condemn all people that use violence, even including my father.
Habiba says her father rarely came home. He worked as a driver, and she says he slept in his car most nights.
When he was home, would he talk about Jewish people and the state of Israel?
No, throughout the week he's working. So it will be only one day when he comes back. He'll just be sleeping throughout the day. My father is the quietest person that you'd ever met. He speaks very, very few words. My mother has always tried to get him to open up more, share his concerns and thoughts with us.
Habiba thinks whatever her father kept inside came out without regard for the victims or his family.
He didn't talk. He didn't care about the consequences. He didn't care about how that would affect them.
In the days after the attack, she says ICE agents told the family they were taking them to a hotel, but instead took them into custody. They ended up at the South Texas Family Residential Center in Dilley, Texas, shown here in 2018, the last time CBS cameras were inside. A facility she describes as overcrowded and lacking in resources like clothing and education for her sisters and brothers.
This is not a place for children, it sounds.
No. There are gates everywhere. The officers just order them, don't run, don't try, don't do this, don't do that. It's very hard for them.
Hi, everyone. I'm Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem.
In the aftermath of the attack on Pearl Street, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem posted on social media.
But we're also investigating to what extent his family knew about this horrific attack, if they had any knowledge of it, or if they provided support.
So far, there has been no public information suggesting the family knew or was involved in the crime. The FBI says information in this case would have to come through the DA or court.
The FBI agents themselves specifically said that we didn't know anything, we did not participate, and have not had any previous knowledge of his actions.
Now community members are showing their support.
In the years I have known her, I have never heard her say an unkind word to or about anyone, or show any signs of aggression, anger, or hatred.
Teacher Elizabeth Reinhold taught Habiba, a sister and brother.
The twins were stripped of their opportunity to start kindergarten with their siblings. Habiba was stripped of her freshman year in college, and the two other children were stripped of a year of education and friendship as well, all for a crime that they did not commit.
Even the senior director of the Jewish Community Relations Council in Colorado questions the family's treatment.
Like, everybody deserves to be treated fairly and treated innocently until proven guilty. I mean, those are standard American values. The bottom line is our community doesn't want our grief and our pain to be used or exploited to undo the protections that keep us and all Americans safe.
For Habiba, her dreams are on hold.
My dream was to go to Harvard Medical, and now all our dreams are shattered, all our lives were destroyed, and we can't even have our own speed. It's just a big price that we paid for something that we didn't do.
Habiba, her mother, and the other children wait, with her hope fighting a battle with hopelessness.
We still have belief in the justice system. We still have belief. We still believe that the truth will come out. We will be treated fairly. We are looking forward to be treated fairly.
Now, Habiba spent most of her life in Kuwait before coming to the United States. The family does have Egyptian roots. Habiba maintains they unknowingly overstayed their visas here. She says they applied for asylum after seeing a government website indicate that it was their right to do so. Other family members got work permits and Social Security numbers, and she says they thought everything was legal. But apparently it was not. We reached out to ICE repeatedly over the past week and a half for comment here, but there has been no response from ICE. The contractor for the ICE facility, Core Civic, said in a statement its facilities have multiple layers of oversight and they're monitored very closely by government to ensure public policies and procedures. And Michael, here, the next step now is another immigration court bond hearing. That's coming up on Wednesday. A lawyer for the family, though, claims that ICE cannot continue to hold them pending its appeal. Remember, it's ICE appealing, not the family appealing here.
Yeah, and of course, something that we will continue to follow and have been following for quite some time. Alan, great reporting as always.
We'll keep an eye on it.
Thank you.